So I was initially against doing another stream after the buffoonery that took place this past Monday. And just in general, I've been having a really big disposition with streaming. So one of the only times you'll probably see me do this is if it becomes a situation like what happened today, where I just can't write or think of a video idea. Um, which is something I've started doing to try and basically kill doing a stream on Sunday. And then after that, we can just get to a point where from now on, they either become increasingly rare or just not at all. Because, like I said, they've been weaponized against me to get people to sort of get riled up in ways that I don't see on the uploads. Um, so I'll probably just keep trying to find ways to cut them out. I have to say that Stop Promising Me a Woman video did a lot better than I thought it would do. I've got about 3 or 4 different ideas for more content about the relationship nonsense. This Twilight Zone saga that a lot of men are finding themselves in. I was actually going to say that one of the video ideas I had, but wasn't really able to think of a title for, because usually when I do one of those, it's after coming up with a central topic and then also a title. I was on a forum about maybe 5 or 6 days ago, and it's a forum that I stopped using because of how toxic the people on there are. But there's a lot of women on that forum, and they were talking about how men have made the friend zone as a way of stating that they're entitled to get with you or something like that. And I was really amused by this because I've always said that my use of that term is indicative of accepting that 2 people make their own decisions and that one does not have to be content with the decisions made by the other person. So, for example, I would easily recognize it as the right of a woman to not get with me after supposedly befriending me or whatever. But I also have the right to terminate that quote unquote friendship after she makes it known that she's not interested. And I don't see how that's unfair. But like I said, I look at the friend zone basically as a person of the opposite sex trying to take all of the redeeming or great qualities you have, but limit you to a subservient role in comparison with someone else. Again, I'll explain that more in some other video, but it's just basically they recognize that you have things they like or qualities they like, but you're not good enough to be the person they go on a date with, or give a chance toward, and that's, again, they're right, and you have the right to stop speaking to them after that, because I don't see where you as a person or anybody has to benefit from not getting what they want, or somebody else gets all of what they want. But that's why I said a lot of relationships, be they romantic or platonic, seem to be based off of this idea of a person getting all of what they want, or trying to get all of what they want, and then giving the other person very little or nothing of what they would like. I mentioned the Discord snake at one point, and how this was a person who asked me for my channel, and I said no. And so his creepy little self went on YouTube and typed my first name in until he heard a video with my voice, which is really disturbing the more you think about it. But I stopped speaking to him roughly 3 or 4 days after that, because I don't talk to people who disrespect me. Certainly not ones who do something as blatantly disrespectful as go against my wishes for something that I would not like to give them. Yeah, I'll probably do a video on that. Just examples of people, claiming that because I noticed that there are a lot of people online, especially in the last maybe 2 or 3 years, um, who it seems like once they get to a point of recognizing you as their friend, they decide to treat you much worse than they would someone that they don't give that label to. Make sure the volume is working good. Yeah, people online have some really strange personalities, and I'll highlight some of them in this video. But one of them, actually, just as another example, was the I think I mentioned this person before, but I stopped using her nickname. It was a broad who I spoke to in December of last year, and then we spoke again at some other point during this year, where she basically did the exact same thing twice, of getting upset at other people for things they were doing to her and then taking it out on people who have nothing to do with her disposition. And I remember distinctively one of the things she did or said when we stopped speaking the first time was, "As your friend, I don't understand the point of us speaking if this hurts you." So remember, this person claims they're my friend, that they want to alleviate my pain, all that trash. And then after we have this final phone call for the final one of last year, she sends me this paragraph long comment cursing me out, talking about I'm gross. And I'm just sitting here looking at this thing, thinking to myself, how the hell do you go from in a span of half an hour saying that this person is your friend who you want to avoid hurting by, I guess, leading them on, to sending them some trash with a bunch of profanity that you later admit was written by someone who didn't know them and for the explicit purpose of getting you to leave them alone? That was really crazy. People act totally strange for no reason, and they do things that just contradict themselves so abundantly. Like, that was more aggravating than something anything the trolls on here have written, because I expect them to write goofy stuff. People just act really crazy on here. How you doing, Tony? I haven't seen you before. Yeah, this website has some very bizarre characters on it. Yeah, that was funny. I had somebody from my last stream. They were like, because I titled it "like button" to highlight the fact that for some damn reason I have to ask people to hit a button." And this person in the chat was like, "Does the like button even make a difference?" I didn't say anything, but I was thinking to myself, no, YouTube just put that there for display. It doesn't help with engagement or creating positive audience reaction. They just put that there so I can marvel and say, "Ooh, look, I got 1,000 people to click this button for me." Man, that is hilarious. But again, it's another one of those points of how do you even think that? Like, I have a lot of problems with these different websites. I'm certainly losing my patience with YouTube, especially after they demonetized me. Was that like 2 weeks ago? But even then, I'm not going to say that they put up buttons for people to click just for someone to effectively, I guess, gawk at it. Like, oh, maybe I'll click this button, maybe not. That's nuts. And whoever wrote that was basically, I guess, demonstrating the inebriated state they were in. I mean, I just don't get the logic of that at all. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish the top 10 Vegeta fights, the script for that video tonight, and then see if I can put it up by Monday. And after I'll do top 10 Gohan fights. I gotta say, I like the other one because I took the time to edit it, and then after that, I just kind of stopped with it for a while. Like, I wrote the list out, but I didn't actually explain any of it, so I still have the majority of it to do. No, Tony. Outside of, I guess, the stuff that's been around for a long time, I just stay away from a lot of the the newer things. Because it seems like at this point, anything that's new, people you can find some section of people complimenting. Like I've seen some people say My Hero Academia is so great. Other ones talking about Vinland Saga. Just a bunch of different stuff. So I'll probably just keep on ignoring all of it. Oh, and then you reminded me, Tony, of the. So I used to watch the original Naruto. I stopped watching at some point during Shippuden, and I just tried to read the manga to get the rest of the story because there's so much damn filler. But there were some people who, when Boruto came out, which is for the 5 people that don't know the sequel to Shippuden, someone wrote, and I always remember this for how just goofy it was. Wait until it gets to episode 100, and then it'll start getting good. I hate filler. Well, with the original Naruto, the filler was until they got to the end of the first half of or I guess part 1 of the manga. They literally chose to just make the entire rest of the show filler for like 2 years. So when you rewatch it, it's very easy to skip over all of it. But that made it to where when they did Shippuden, and you got 500 episodes, it's like every couple of ones there's some filler story, and they got so lazy with it that they stopped trying to even fit it in the main timeline. Like they will have episodes where they take place during part 1, but they're in the second show, and they don't even try to say, like set it up as a flashback. They just have episodes where it's them in the original setting from the first show. It's really crazy. Filler is I don't think I don't think it's as bad as people say it is sometimes. It just depends on what it is. Because you have a lot of Dragon Ball fans that cry about the Garlic Jr. saga, even though you can literally just skip over it. It's real funny too because they'll attack it for either the same reasons that they attack or certain things that they don't like about the Frieza saga, and they basically get upset with it for doing the same thing except not as bad. Like they were saying, oh, it goes on for too long, and they said that about the Frieza saga, which is like 60 something episodes, and then Garlic Jr. is only 10 episodes. So you're gonna say this thing that's not even 25% the length of this other thing is long too. Now that's nuts. Granzil says filler is decent, but those flashbacks are too much. Oh, I agree. No, they have no problem making an entire episode just a flashback. Tony says filler can be good, but only if it works in conjunction with the story. Bleach was so bad about this. Yeah, there are a lot of people who have a problem with Bleach. Or Bleach is filler. Well, that's why I said I usually, if I'm getting into something new, I just read the manga. Like at every turn, it just seems like a more superior story. Yeah, they put too much stuff in there to where you can't. It's hard to really catch up. Oh my God, it's Bader. I haven't seen him in a few days. After he's been avoiding me since his green arch nemesis came in my comment section, spamming his catchphrase. I must warn you, Bader, if you write anything I don't like, you're going to hit those 3 different phrases that your stalker likes to use. I think you know which ones I'm talking about. I hope I don't have to repeat them. Oh man, I haven't seen AOU in a while. Yeah, I went over to your channel after you mentioned it yesterday. Not yesterday. How stupid I am thinking 2 Saturdays in a row are a day right after each other. You had a song where there's like a blue background. I made sure to like thumb it up a few times. So that's that. Yeah, I'll try to remind myself to link it over here. Let's see here. Yeah, I did, Zeal. I actually, well, my original intent was that if I couldn't come up with an idea, like a different video idea, I would do a review of it or do kind of like what I did with the last one, where there's a whole stream where people just talk about it. But I got attacked, if anyone remembers, by another person on here because they were on a Black Men Can't Cover Dragon Ball World Tour, and they attacked me not for my opinions on the material, but for my where I'm sitting and the fact that I was clicking adjusting the settings on here. So I'm probably not going to discuss it, at least in a video where it's the title, because that's how that person came and decided to attack me. I put 62, and they were, they went to town. But yeah, I read it. I was kind of. I mean, it wasn't as awful as people were trying to say it was, but I didn't really get that and turned in excited. Yeah, Tony, my main takeaway is basically just that they should have spent more time showing us Mirrors. Like between when he trained Goku and now, I just think was too big of a gap for them to really try to hit us with the emotional send off. And you actually have some users on the Kondenshu form, which is basically the Dragon Ball form, as people can, I guess, technically call it. And they're trying to defend this by going, oh, if they showed us more scenes of Goku and Mirrors, then this would be an even longer arc, because the arc is going on almost 2 years. But they could have had the two of them together as one subplot, and then had all the other stuff going on without Goku up until this point. That way, you'd have literally 2 years of those characters interacting, but not lose the plot progressing with the other characters. Again, I'll probably when the arc is over do a review of it, but it's just really aggravating because it seems like every time there's a bad storytelling decision with that series, the fans of it rush to its defense. Like they can never, what's a good way of saying it, admit something that wasn't done entirely correct, or maybe could have been done better. So, what else? I remember when we were getting the leaks for the story, and all the little different pages were coming out, and they were showing Moro and Mirrors and Goku. I was like, where the hell's the rest of the group? And it turns out they're only in it for, I think, one page. True, it was decent chapter. The emotional send off was too quick. How many months did they spend training together? Well, it's not even just the months. We it's been months, almost I think what half a year since we've even seen the two of them interact. We forgot that Vegeta is a part of the story. Yeah, he's been just completely shoved under the rug. And I remember one of the wishful thinkings I had for the chapter before this one was that maybe they would have Vegeta's little fission technique still end up being helpful. Like if he doesn't beat the main villain, he still ends up doing something. But it doesn't really look like that's going to be the case. He might get healed, but he's still probably, is just gonna, I guess, sit around and watch Ultra Instinct save the day for the first time ever. Yeah, Tony, he's always in that secondary role. I told you when that Universe 6 tournament was going on, I got really annoyed with what they did to Piccolo. But then they kind of, I thought, okay, maybe they're at least going to let Vegeta beat a tournament slash the main villain, whatever. And they have him beat everybody up until the final person and then lose. They even took Goku out of the tournament at one point, if you remember, where they had him get eliminated, and then it was, I guess setting it up for Vegeta to win just to play the trickster game. Ranzil says if he gets Mastered Ultra after this, then I don't know because it's not based on emotion, but rather controlling them. Yeah, I don't understand why people love that form so much because every time it shows up, he gets smashed or it loses. I don't. It's kind of like the new Super Saiyan 3. So I kind of hope that it's like a parody form where they have it show up every time just to show how useless it is or how unstable it is. Oh, Bader says you had your chance, Vegeta. Now, Shu, you are going to be forgotten for the rest of the fight. Yeah, they're going to have him basically just go hiding in the corner. Or not even just the rest of the fight, the rest of the show every time. They have him play second fiddle or be used to show how threatening the main villain is. And then he just, like, really the only, since Boo, they haven't really had him help with the main villain defeating them. So I don't think they're going to give him a proper conclusion. Tony says, I want better transformations. I'm tired of these new Super Saiyan transformations. You mean the palette swaps? Where they take an old form, change the color of it, and then say, this is brand new and it's so much more powerful. And we've never seen this before. They did that with Golden Frieza. They did that with, God technically is a little bit different, but they did that with Blue. Just take a form, change the color, and now it's eons more powerful. Does anyone know Gohan can become a Super Saiyan with the Mystic form on top? I don't think we've ever seen that attempted. They just kind of either just use regular Super Saiyan form or they bring the Mystic form back to say, oh, look, he's still training. He still has his potential unlocked. So when he gets beaten up, you can feel like he was at his maximum power. Frieza needs a second form like Cooler and stack Golden on top of that. He does have a second form like Cooler. He has four forms. He just likes to stay in his fourth form all the time now. Okay, Bader says Gohan said he can, but doesn't want to use it because he wants to rely on his human form. Yeah, I don't really get the writing for that. And then Blossom says, or I guess James, as he would like to be referred to now, he said, I don't know too much about Dragon Ball Super, but the Super Saiyan God transformation is kind of dumb. Well, it worked for the movie that it was in, and then after that they just kind of threw it in the trash and brought it another form 2 years later. I mentioned this before, but Super had more forms in a shorter span of time than any other series. Like a new form every arc. The first arc you get God. The second form you get the blue form. The second arc you get the blue form rather. The Universe 6 tournament, Blue Kaioken. I guess you can call that a technique on a form, but whatever. The Future Trunks arc, you get that weird form that Trunks had, Super Saiyan Rose. So that's 4 forms for 4 arcs. Then with the Tournament of Power, you get your Ultra Instinct and that form that Vegeta has, that royal blue thing or whatever. So that's 6. Let's see. He goes Super Saiyan and then 2 and then Mystic. Remember when it actually took time and effort to get Super Saiyan? The good old days. Yeah, they had. Well, that's kind of what's annoying about Blue. It just came out of nowhere. Um, it was in the exact movie after Battle of Gods, and they had it from the beginning of the film. With the original form, there was an entire arc with Vegeta prophesizing this transformation that hadn't taken place in 1,000 years. So there's no more storytelling. But that's why I said about how the show seems less like it's actually trying to tell a story and more marketing. So they just pull up new forms every year. Well, even though it's their story, we still have the right to call it BS if it is. It's a form that came out of nowhere, just like what we were talking about here. They just make them and throw them in the story, and then because you're a fan of this show, you're supposed to shut up and never complain about it. James says, "So if Goku is so powerful, shouldn't he become the Saiyan King or something?" Well, that's the thing, James. When Z ended, he was supposed to be one of the, I guess, top 3, 4 strongest people in the whole galaxy, and then when they made Battle of Gods, they retconned that to there being this system of different universes, and each one has a god, and they're all more stronger than Goku. So now he's not even one of the top 20 strongest characters. But that's something that Super created, this whole system of gods and various upper deities. And it got kind of annoying because they already weren't really using Beerus and Whis that well. So then they made these other universes so they can not use the gods from them either. It just feels like they make a bunch of characters to just not do anything with them. Mm. It's like we're gonna make all these characters and then we're just gonna have them sit there and fill up background shots. Yeah, the Broly movie meant having him tell Broly to call him that name kind of was weird to me. Because at no point in the entire show up to that point had we ever seen him. He wouldn't get, I guess, pissed if you called him by his original name, but he didn't seem to really care about trying to keep it alive. feel like they did that more for fan service than something that the actual series alluded to. Because even in Super, which has been apparently, spearheaded by this new team of people, we don't see him refer to himself as Kakarot. It's a thing that only came out of that film. All right, there are 10 people here. I'm gonna have to apologize to 9 of them. So I talked about not doing streams anymore because there is this tendency for people online to basically, what's a good way of saying it, act crazy when they get on one of these, to do things that are kind of unnecessary. There is a user in this chat, and he knows who he is, who initially went from saying, "Justin, why can't you see my comments? Where are my comments?" And again, I said, whatever, people online don't care what I have to say, so that it is what it is. I had no way in hell of noticing that this man had a health crisis, because I don't know anything about him. But this is now my responsibility and burden to bear for why he was sick, an illness that I was never told about. So now I need to be Professor X and read the mind of people on here. You just said you had an illness, right? You were sick. You never told me about this. Because it doesn't matter. Why don't you speak to me? Listen, if you have been mistreated so poorly, if you have been treated so badly, I do not say this as an affront. I do not say this as some kind of warning. Just go. I don't force you to stay here and write a bunch of comments. And I noticed a little passive aggressive stuff you wrote earlier. He talks about video upon video that he gets tired of people ignoring him. They have the right to. There isn't a single person I have ever been ignored by that I sat on their streams for 30 or 40 minutes. I don't do that. I go. Plenty of fish in the sea. Like someone did something to you. I didn't say you did. So again, maybe I'm speaking a different language. I didn't do anything to you. Where did I ever state in this week of you sending me 90? I don't recall ever stating that you did anything to me. I don't recall stating anything at all. That's the ironic part of that comment there. Oh, I didn't say you didn't do anything wrong. Now, again, I didn't say anything at all. That's kind of the point here. Yeah, Urban World, you jumped into a week of somebody writing a bunch of messages about how they've been wronged and ignored and treated so badly. I don't think he's talking about you. Now let me read this comment. This was actually kind of funny. He talks about how angry he gets when people ignore him and don't give him the time of day, and he's not even speaking to me. And I've been here for almost 3 years. So is there like a magic year where you have immunity? Well, you saw Tony. I tried to just let him do his thing. But then he starts writing passive aggressive stuff about he's being treated so poorly by me when I didn't even say anything. Yeah, James, notice me. Hey, well, Tony didn't have to go that way. I'm not the one still on anyone's stream typing a bunch of stuff about how upset I am that they're not saying anything to me. The illusion. The illusion. Everybody on here talks in riddles. You can go look through all of my streams. I at no point ever ignored what your messages were prior to this week. And you also had no problem with me making video upon video talking about how people ignore me up until this week either. You would imagine if something is wrong, you would talk to someone about it. You don't have to. Listen, this is something maybe you don't get. No one in this chat, out of the other 8 people that are here, or myself, are obligated to talk to you. If they don't want to speak, they don't have to. And I don't have to. James, go look at the stream from last week. That thing was 62 minutes. He came on the 20th minute and sat there writing a bunch of stuff, trying to get my attention for 40 minutes. It's rich how you can talk about women, how dismissive they are, but you can't speak to me. I never swore at you. I don't know where I said you swore, but I guess words are just going to be put in my mouth now. We already take what he says out of context. Let's make up something that he didn't actually say. Let's take it one step further. Hey, remember this? Instead of this is to push beyond the level of Super Saiyan, this is to push beyond the level of smearing. What do you call that? If it's not attention seeking, if you sit on someone's stream for over 30 minutes trying to get them, listen, when you comment on a video, whatever, people do that all the time. You go to a stream explicitly to get someone to pay attention to you. I could talk about 99 different topics and you will spend the whole thing going, can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Why isn't he reading my comments? What else is that? And besides, you literally had over 7 different people you could have spoken to if I wasn't reading your comments. Because I've done streams where I don't read people's comments. No, James, since Saturday, I've done 3 streams, and each one he has shown up to, it's been the same story. He sits there until the thing's over going, why isn't he paying attention to me? Where is he? Why isn't he paying attention to me? Are my comments not showing up? Why are my comments not there? And then if I address him at last, like think about how damned you are and damned if you don't do it. If you don't say anything, you're ignoring him and you're bad and treating him so poorly and whatever. If you say something after you get sick of 7 different attempts on his part to divert attention from the topic of the video to himself, you're the villain. Like how nutty is that where if you ignore him and don't say anything, just let him write his stuff, you're the bad guy. If you respond to what he said, you're still the bad guy. This does not need to involve the. You made it involve the chat by commenting on the stream with the chat. You didn't have, no one made you come to a stream and spend the entire time on the stream asking them or myself to notice your comments. This does not need to involve the chat. You made it involve the chat by coming in the chat and making the whole thing about you for public display. And then you're gonna try trolling me on my own thing. He makes video upon video of how he likes to get women to notice him. I have my little brother over here. He's trying to figure out who's causing me such strife. Yeah, he literally did that 7 times. Like I counted between Saturday of last. It's been 7 days. He has not every day, but there have been at least an instance per day of him writing a comment to me on some separate video or stream, going, "Hello, can you see my comment? Is anybody there?" You could have just left 1 or 2. Look, if you left 1 or 2 on some video I did, whatever. You came to 3 streams, spamming it, going, where is he? Where is he? Can you see my comment? And look, if you did that by itself, like that's whatever. But then you come to this one trying to play, trying to be the new Frieza. He makes video upon video, being tired of women ignoring him. Like who else writes that besides some passive aggressive troll? What is that? I didn't do anything to you. And I sure as hell had no way of knowing about your health issues. But again, because I can't read people's mind like I'm Jean Grey or Emma Frost or Professor X, I'm the villain. Yeah, yes, Tony, he has shown up more times since, I guess, supposedly being ignored than he did before. And on at least 2 separate occasions, it's now been antagonistic. He's the new Frieza. Where he just keeps coming back. What did I do wrong that made you ignore me? I don't like the idea that someone who does not comment ever on any, because I do a lot of a different variety of content. I've got political stuff, the romance stuff. I even got Dragon Ball stuff. So I have at least 3 different types of content. I've been trying to do at least 1 of each weekly. Over a month went by where you didn't comment on any of this stuff. And again, I pay attention to certain usernames. That's why I was able, there was a troll actually, and I don't know if he was here for it. There was a troll who wrote some goofy comment 2 years ago about, oh, if you wore these clothes, some trash, but I ignored him because the comment wasn't overly antagonistic. It was just more of that stupid romance stuff. This person, it was over a year later, this person came on my stream writing the exact same thing. You always wear this color. Ha, 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 ha. And I recognized and got rid of him because I remembered the username. So I remember what specific people do what specific things. I've just never seen any of them sit on my streams on 3 separate occasions for over. I mean, look, like you've literally spent, I'm not saying this to insult you, even though you insulted me and, tried to say I'm this big hypocrite. And again, if I'm so hypocritical, just stop watching. You have spent over an hour, almost an hour and a half on, if we count all these streams, add them together, doing this. Why hasn't he noticed me? Why is he not paying attention to me? Justin, are you there? That's what you did. Imagine if I did that to somebody. I would get banned. I would have the rest of the chat tell me what's wrong with me. I mean, Jesus Christ. No, it hasn't been 3 hours. I'm not going to say that. The stream on Saturday, the last Saturday, was 62 minutes, and he came in the 20th minute. I'm not going to spin this. I'm going to, like, I'm disappointed with what he did because it wasn't necessary to sit on multiple streams going hello, hello, hello. But it wasn't 3 hours. It was 42 minutes on the stream from last Saturday. And then it was like 6 or 7 from Monday. And then today it's been over an hour at least. Megumi says, hey, Justin and everyone in the chat. And damn, what have I walked into? Well, apparently I'm this big hypocrite that, I'm so bad, but I also somehow have this magical ability to make people write a bunch of stuff to me on multiple streams and videos in a week. I have these magic powers where I'm such an obvious hypocrite, but I'm also so enticing that people have to sell my streams going, hello, you hear my comment? Hello, hello. You didn't, oh my God. Listen, if I leave 2 or 3 messages on someone's video asking if they can see my comments and they don't respond, I would just leave. If I really think they're ignoring me and being so horrible and hypocritical and evil and the new demon, the new devil spawn, I would just go. I wouldn't sit on 3 of their streams going, and I especially after doing the hello, hello routine, wouldn't start trying to troll them. Like, this is literally that guy from last month, 2.0. Where it's like, I'm so bad, but then, because he's like, well, I've been here for almost 3 years, which I don't believe that, but let's pretend that's true. The person that did this nasty video on me was here for over a year and was talking about he was trying to get away from people like me after being on my channel for over a year. So it's always someone who, I guess, feels like they've been around for some long period of time that, now after they get disillusioned with me, tries to paint me as the new Hitler. I'm good. No, I wanted this conversation to take place in a public setting, because if it's over the audio, people like to twist stuff. He said this, and he told me to never do this again. Do you have any proof? No, but so I'm good. I don't even use that crappy website. But Grand Zeal, I've been here for so long. It's weird how one day Justin can say, hey, Envoy, how you doing? To then him ignoring me. It wasn't one day, but whatever. Anyways, I'm such this big hypocrite. I anticipate your departure. It's been nice knowing you. There are what, over at least several million other people on this website that you can go and watch if you have a problem with me. I mean, Megumi, if you don't bother someone for an entire week and don't respond back to them because you don't want to argue with them, and then they sit on your streams for over an hour to antagonize you or to start antagonizing you after a certain point, what do you do? Remember, you're bad for ignoring them, and you're also bad for responding to them. I mean, that's crazy. Dude, most of the streams I go to, they don't even read what I write. People I've seen, I think I mentioned, I had a guy in July, last month, I should say that rather, cursed me out because I asked him if he was okay. And then while he's doing his little rant, crybaby fest, he's like, don't stop asking me to read your comments. And he doesn't even get any more regular. He was streaming today. He had the same number of people watching him. And he's got 1,000 more subs than me. If you don't believe me, you can ask Masturbator, because he knows what I'm talking about. I would hope he doesn't say that person's name. I don't use Piscord. I'm tired of that stupid website, and I'm tired of having a bunch of subs who are, like, I guess, entitled. I mean, this is really crazy. I now am supposed to have retroactively known that you were sick when we have at no point ever had I don't even want to call it a relationship, because that's getting into some homoeroticism territory, but we have never had a rapport where I would be aware of your health issues. Like, that's nuts. Like, I'm now a new telepath. I should just go join the Xavier Academy. I'm gonna merge with the Phoenix. They should make this. Hey, when Marvel does their X-Men reboot, I'll make sure I'm directing it, or I'm in the main cast or leading role or something after this stream. We should title it, instead of Like Button Live Show, I'm gonna title it. Let me go over my settings. Justin fails to read longtime subscriber's mind slash new Endgame or Infinity War 2.0 or something. That'll be a good title. Yeah. So James, if we don't speak for a few weeks and you don't, like, if I call you and you don't answer, I was supposed to, and then you get mad at me because I didn't call you a certain number of times, but you don't tell me. I'm still supposed to take the blame because I should have read your mind. No, I read what you wrote. You said that he makes video upon video of complaining that women are ignoring him. So I read it. I'm the hypocrite and the villain and the new, Bin Laden. So you can go talk to somebody else. And look, I'm not going to ban you or block you because you're not writing the troll stuff anymore. But if you really believe you're being abused over here, like I'm Ike and you're Tina, you can go watch somebody else. Megumi, he was upset that I wasn't reading his comment, which people do all the time with people that show up on their streams or on their comment section. So after showing up on my streams and going, Justin, can you see my comment? Can you see my comment? Can you see my comment? On 3 separate occasions now, he made this newest occasion an attempt where he's now calling me a hypocrite and saying that I treated him so poorly. All these slick disses. How are you not exactly sure what's going on when this entire situation is happening because of what you did? That's like me going to a store and pulling up some weapon, and then when the I guess police show up to try and stop me or whatever, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, if it was for me pulling out the weapon, they wouldn't be over here trying to stop me. If you hadn't come over here, and especially if you hadn't wrote the passive aggressive stuff, none of this would be happening. Like, you're upset that this is in a public setting after making it public. Again, I'm under no obligation to read anyone's comment. I treated you the same way that I get treated on literally almost everybody I watch his channel. Go on Jimmy Dore's stream and see if he reads your comment. Comment on his video, hey, can you see me, and see if he responds. Tired of people on this website spinning like I did something to them. I have these magic powers that force you to watch me. Yeah, we're going in circles, Tony, but that's what they do. Now, Megumi, if you don't believe me, I can go in my channel comments and screenshot, what is it, like 5 attempts by him in the last week to get me to respond to him. No, there's more than one. They've been getting the same treatment too. They just don't appear as frequently. We've been keeping an attendance record. And again, nobody's punishing you because most of the time people don't even read comments anyway. Yeah, I don't know what Urban World is talking about. John Silvers is not here. Come back with talk about we're gonna change James's name to James Gold so we can have John Silver and James Gold. Because he was making these gold records. Make sure you type in AOU Blossom on YouTube and give him a subscription. He doesn't have people on. He doesn't stream at all. But if he did stream, or if he has his comment section open, there's nobody on his comment section going, "Can you see me? Hello, are you there?" I only said hello multiple times. No, say the number of times. It's been at least 7 in 7 days. Again, if you don't believe me, I have no problem screenshotting all the different times. Hell, if I'm doing you a favor because I'm only saying I'm counting each stream as one instance. If I actually go through and count all the different times you said he's not noticing my comment or hello, or can you see this to somebody else, it'd probably be like 20 or 30. And you had no problem not commenting on my stuff before this. But because I didn't use my new telepathic powers to know that you were sick, it's my fault. I'm gonna just change my name to Justin Frost since he thinks I'm Emma. I can read people's minds. Or Gray or Xavier or something. And I'm at my new picture just doing this. Jesus Christ. Hey, I'm not. Oh no, there's nothing about no villains. You're the one that said he makes video upon video, claiming he's so annoyed when women ignore him, but he's now doing it to me. Why can't he see his hypocrisy? That was you. Yeah, the spam. That's what we call it, spam. He's like, you're lucky my what was it, 3 other mods don't get rid of you. Because who likes spam? The only spam I like is fish. Yeah, Tony would have never gotten the voice if Envoy wasn't doing this. Matter of fact, where's my keyboard? Let me show you. This is what Envoy did. Look. Saturday. Sunday. Monday. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday. Saturday. Or rather today, I guess. Jesus Christ. I honestly feared I would walk into a political discussion before anyone. Well, hey, Ruben's not here, so we have drama. I can't wait for Envoy to take clips of this stream and then do a video called Justin Hurt Me or something. Like a certain other person did. Hey, James, that's gonna be my new thing. All my subs turn them in, and they can't just leave like regular people, because most subs, if they don't like anyone, they just unsub. They go watch somebody else. They're gonna take the clips from a stream because they always use a stream to further their point. That's where they get to harass me, and they can go in and insinuate I'm this horrible person and I'm now homosexual and all this other stupid stuff. He didn't read my comment. I hate him. That already happened in the last 40 days. I had a guy who literally said who said, "You are one of my favorite YouTubers," in the span of 2 weeks, made a video about me. A video that if I was a real prick, I could have copyright striked him for, because most of it was me speaking. Like, my subs didn't want to admit this, but the guy's video was 20 minutes long. I spoke for 12 minutes. I could have that video gone like that. Because YouTube's copyright system states you have to speak for 60% of the video for it to be fair use. That's why you can't take a damn movie and upload it on your channel and then after the 2-hour film plays, stick 8 minutes of you talking at the end of it. So that's within the character of people that's up to me to do. And just like Envoy, he was on here for a long time, and he got he got annoyed that I would remember what dumb thing he did, not Envoy, but this other person. So I would say, "Oh, you're that person that did this." But with Envoy, I just I'm not even gonna say anything, because if you don't remember the Calvin Coolidge phrase, if you don't say anything, you won't be called on to repeat it. I don't want to watch someone else. I want to watch. Oh, please. Listen, variety is the spice of life. There are millions of people on this website, and I'm subscribed to maybe 100 of them. So you know that idea that you just come on this site to watch me is just is not a thing. Everybody on here watches at least 2 people, if not more. I don't know what me and Megumi is talking about, but you know, people are writing all kind of stuff in my chat at this point. Well, again, you're not blocked. I'm just not going to bother even like trying to. Like, I'm astonished. You get mad that someone ignores you, to where you not only get upset that they're not saying anything, but now they're the biggest hypocrite in the world. And then when they finally respond to you, you don't understand what I was saying. I read your messages. I was just sitting there going, wow, he is really going to spend the whole stream like talking to himself and being, I guess, egged on by members of the chat. That's crazy. That's nuts. Again, if I did that to somebody where I was like, no, this me, no, especially one of the bigger people, I would just get banned. You said, listen, if I say Envoy probably, I don't know, likes to hold hands with men, even if I'm not calling you directly gay, it still is being insinuated by that comment. When you say someone makes video upon video of this, but they're doing the opposite, they're doing the same thing, you're inferring that that person is a hypocrite. You would imagine if something is wrong, you would talk to someone about it. Again, I am not obligated to read anybody's comments. And I actually have some pretty good grammatical skills. So when people write things in my chat, I can go look and read it and know what they're saying, unless it's got some bad grammar. So now you're doubling down on the thing that you're saying you didn't do. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not crazy for thinking what you said is what you meant. Again, I've been on streams of all kinds of people, and they don't read my stuff at all, and that doesn't stop me from watching them. They don't respond when you comment, and they don't respond when you write anything on their chat. They just keep making their video. No, his name is Megumi because he's gonna stick his gumi inside some woman eventually. Some supermodel. It's gonna be some big accomplishment. Because you know that's the most important thing we can do at this point. They treat getting abroad like it's the, not him specifically, but people like seem to treat getting with a woman as some kind of like grand prize luxury win. Like forget any kind of actual accolade. They're just like, oh, that's the big thing, even though a bunch of people have banged, you know, a bunch of broads at different points. Well, again, if you're confused about that, you can replay the stream or just go watch somebody else. I'm not going to sit here and keep doing this back and forth because I treat people pretty damn well, contrary to what you were saying before you came on here and digital and you know new Frieza stuff. I didn't mention your name. I didn't talk about who you were specifically. I didn't bring any hate your way. You know, and then you come on here and they're like, oh, now I'm getting reminded of that Drake song. Every stream prior to this used to say hello and speak to me. Last week you decided not to. You spoke about people not commenting on your other videos. So I assumed it was me. I haven't seen Pink Panther in a long time. No, James, he didn't read my comments, so I'm going to make a video about him. Well, in the case of the other person, I read his comments, and you know he went to. It's too deep to say sorry on his part, but it's not too deep to spend 2 hours making a video about someone. Remember, saying sorry is just you can write that in less than 5 minutes. But he said, "No, I'm gonna do the thing that's takes 90% a longer amount of time to do instead." I already did say it. I don't know why Megumi's name is relevant, but whatever. I don't care if Megumi's name was Big Titty Warrior. If he's writing something that's decent, I'm going to just address him in the way he wants to be referred to. There was a lot of I didn't even see this one. So let me get this straight. Being a follower of yours for 3 years and a mod, you can just decide to cast me aside. Like, you're literally using Dragon Ball terminology. Seriously, if you don't believe me, go look up, what was that game? Budokai Tenkaichi 3, part 5 of the playthrough, where when Frieza starts fighting Vegeta, Vegeta's like, if you think you can just toss me aside, you're in for a rude awakening. Like, you sound like an anime villain. You didn't want it to be a huge thing as you sat on 3 streams the entire time from when you came to when you left, going, notice me, notice me. Nobody made you do that. Yeah, well, I don't want to say the senpai one, James, but that is what I'm starting to get a reminder of. Can we just talk about this on another platform? Well, you weren't trying to talk on another platform when you were writing the comments trying to get my attention on here. And how, if your messages weren't being seen, how the hell were other people in my chat noticing them? And you really think I would have you blocked while you were modded? Still, after supposedly being, I don't even know what you thought you were hidden. That makes sense? No, you didn't just want to know why they were being ignored. You don't write 30, 40 comments to someone without a response if you're just trying to ask a question. Because again, you can infer that when you ask the question the first 2 or 3 times and it gets ignored, you're probably not going to get an answer. You wanted to pester me until I responded to you. Why else would you sit on a stream for over 20 minutes, for hell with that, for over an hour doing that? There's a whole bunch of comments I didn't read while I've been responding to you. I doubt any of them are going to go in the comment section. I wanted to see if I was being noticed or seen or viewed or visible. But you can rationalize it whatever way you want. Yeah, but Megumi, how the hell would he be, like, when you, listen, I don't know if maybe people don't have experience with this, but when you ban someone from your channel, not only can you not see them anymore, nobody else can. The only person who can see what they write is them. So if he was banned, how the hell were other people seeing his comments with Pixie Dust? I do want to talk to you on other platforms. That wasn't what you were saying when you were typing all that stuff to me. James says, I really think Envoy is trolling. Hey, it's very possible. I've never, but it's like, who would spend that much time on a channel of someone that they are saying is like this hypocrite and is treating them so wrong? Like, I get my comments ignored everywhere I go. And you don't see me going, why is this person not paying attention to me? That's what you sounded like earlier in this stream. That's what made me, I was like, wow, he's really, Why? Oh, okay. So if you say something mean about someone, you can reasonably expect them to be nasty back. But then if you don't say anything to them at all, now they want to be a villain. Now those were some troll comments earlier. That's the kind of stuff we might as well just like what go get Trump and put in my comment section. You sound like you were on his Twitter feed. I mean that was just wow. I had a health crisis, so this situation is weird. A health crisis I had no idea about. This is ridiculous. Imagine someone would tell me, I imagine someone would tell me what happened. It's ridiculous. He talks about how angered he gets when people ignore him and don't give him the time of day, yet he's not even speaking to me. I was like, wow, wow, we might as well just, you know what I'm gonna do? Since you did that, I'm gonna unban every troll ever because their comments clearly are approved at this point. That's what you sounded like when you were writing that. You should rename this. No, it's not a versus match. It's just entitlement and patience. It's an entitlement versus patience. He's entitled to have his comments read by me, and I was patient enough to let him sit there for over an hour on 3 different streams doing this until I started getting trolled, and he started diverting attention away to like softcore attack me. If it sounded like I was trolling. Megumi, if you're doing a stream and I go on your stream and I say, what was it? Megumi talks about how tired he is of being ignored, but then he ignores people. Does that sound like trolling? Asking for a friend. No, you shouldn't have told me because remember, I have these telepathic powers where I can read and I know all the things that are happening to you. Now I'm curious, just what was this stream was really? Well, Megumi, we were talking about the newest chapter of Super that came out. What was that? 2 days ago, and we were having this like decent conversation about like its contents and what kind of stuff we didn't really like, whatever. And he kept writing a bunch of stuff about, hello, can you notice me? And then around some point during that, he shifted to being, antagonistic and going, he says he doesn't like it when people ignore him, but then what does he do? He ignores them. I was like, I can't believe it. Oh yeah, James, that's what they do. You remember the guy that got mad because I said something about BLM, so he sat there for 2 hours going back and forth with me. This is what they do. That's why nobody likes streaming anymore, because one person comes in here and they try to make the whole thing about themselves. Even when I wasn't addressing him, it was all about him. Why won't Justin read my comment? Justin's a hypocrite. It's like, Jesus Christ. Well, Megumi, what choice do you have? If you address the person in a way they don't like, you're bad. But then if you ignore them, you're bad anyway. So the only solution I had was to go, I'm sorry, Your Highness Envoy. I should have read all of your comments like the little slave that I am. I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me for not knowing about health issues that I had no way of knowing about anyway. Yep. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You address him, you're the villain because you didn't say something that he liked. You don't address him, you're the villain because you're ignoring him. Oh, he'll be back in the next one. And if I don't read his comment, like Roadrunner. Like, I have never seen that before. And look, if it had just been the one from last Saturday, whatever. But on every stream I've done since last Saturday, the same thing. Like a running gag. Like, he literally, I did a stream this past Monday, wasn't that long, about recurring villains. That's what he tried to turn himself into. Because remember, recurring villains, they keep showing up. They keep popping up. That's what he was this week. Did you read my comment? Hello, did you read my comment? Did you read my comment? I mean, this is him. I can't wait until he puts up a new stream. Can't wait till he starts streaming. I can't wait until he thinks a few days passed and I forgot. Jesus. I like him so much that I feel that he needs to read every comment I write. That if he doesn't read every comment I write, I will go over to his streams and write stuff both nice and passive aggressive to him until he says something to me. That I am the one subscriber he has who, no matter what, must have their comments read at all times. I mean, I didn't know slavery was still going on. I'm going to go outside and just go pick some cotton. Do I want to talk about this more later? Considering I've spent the last 40 minutes addressing, I think I've talked enough. Like all this stuff about going over to these different websites, you weren't saying that before you came to this stream and started trolling. Yeah. Yes, sir, boss. We be good YouTuber, boss. We read all your comments, boss. We would never upset Envoy. Rubber tub. We're just buck dancing YouTubers. Yeah, so we're gonna have 2 hours of the Envoy one-sided beef. I didn't even do anything. Like James, remember, all of this started because I didn't read his comment. I didn't call him out. I did reference him, but I didn't say his name. I didn't bring hate his way. I didn't make a video about him. If that doesn't show you how antagonistic people online are, if they don't like something you're doing, nothing else will. I mean, this has been the year of the troll. People turning sides and shifting and switching. Like they're morphing more than Transformers. Envoy's the new Megatron. Decepticons. You know, it makes sense too, because that mask I was wearing yesterday had me looking like Optimus Prime. So maybe that's what he's going for here. Yeah, Megumi. Since the start of last month, I had one subscriber who went from saying I was one of his favorite YouTubers to whatever, that I'm now supposedly homosexual, make a video on me. I had another person who is 5 times my size attack me for being black and covering Dragon Ball, because that's like a sin on this website. I had another person take the first guy's name and stick a picture of one of the One Piece girls on there and try to like write a bunch of stuff about I'm so sexy or whatever, stupid stuff. And then I had a fourth one sit on 3 streams for over 60 minutes going, you will pay attention to me. Like, what the hell? Jesus. Oh, how you doing, VBS? You got referenced in the How Romance Dehumanizes Men video. It wasn't meant to attack you, it was just a differentiation. But if you're here to write 90 comments like Envoy, go ahead. Now this is troll year. The only one of those 4 trolls, of those 4, I'm not gonna call him one. Let me redact that, because when you do a stream, people like to go, oh, he said this about me. So out of those 4 separate instances of direct attacks on me or whatever, where people doing stuff I think is kind of strange, he's the only one who did it for multiple days. All the rest were just one-offs. Like they do it, that's it. It's him and that other person. I'm not even gonna say her name. Oh, thanks. I've been with the new romance stuff, writing the script, because when you talk about romance and you don't have a script, people like to twist your words. You like to say, he said he's tired of this. He's planning on committing a massacre. We have to stop him. So, our he's criticizing women, and he says that he wants to have a family and get married. Well, that definitely means he just wants sex. Oh yeah, because there's no way he could want something more out of a relationship than getting screwed, even though he can go to the state right next to his and go do it anyway for a certain amount of money instead of talking to some broad for months or weeks. It all adds up. No, VVS, they love, like, literally that group, the one that starts with the I. I don't say their name because I don't want any affiliation with them. You're literally part of that romance team if you critique. Like, if I came in here and went, I'm such a bad person because women didn't want to get with me wet, then people would say I was just a regular guy who was experiencing some trouble that just needed to work on himself and his But when you say, no, she's a stupid whore because she did, then you're automatically part of the romance team. Even if you don't go on their forums, you don't talk to any of their members, you're part of the romance crew coming through, doing anything to annoy me so much I have to sing. Like, I've never seen a group have a monopoly on a critique of something. So if you're a man and you criticize the decisions of women that you've tried to get with, you're part of one of the teams. And again, I was mentioning how you put the letters at the start of your video. I don't put any of those groups' name anywhere. It's literally just you criticize decisions made by women, so you're automatically part of the romance team. And they get real sad when they find out you're not part of their crew. And as much as we may dream, Justin just won't join our romance team. Jesus Christ. It's crazy. I have the AC on. I'm over here sweating from making all these movements. This is absolutely nuts. That's him. That's him, VBS. That's the person. So, VBS, if you do another stream, I know you haven't made a video in a while, but if you do another stream, make sure you read Envoy's comments. You better read them. Is that clear? You don't want you don't want him to. You better meet his list of demands. This is your most important sub. Since he has seniority over the other ones, you have to do what he says. Is that clear? See, VBS left. He's scared. He knows that if he doesn't do what Envoy wants, he can expect, what is it, a total of 2 hours in the span of a week. Yeah, he must be. Yeah, Ruben, you missed a largely chaotic time. Good to see. What did Ruben just write? Good to see you. It wasn't good for me. I think he put the final nail in the coffin I needed for streams, because if this is what they're going to turn into, where people feel like they have to write a bunch of stuff to force me to respond to them, I don't want to do it anymore. Like that is really God. I don't get where that made any sense to do. Jesus Christ. I thought I was going to come on here and talk about what videos I have planned for this week, and then maybe, like review that chapter briefly. But we gotta sit back and address the allegations of being abused by me, because I'm Chris Brown and he's Rihanna. Except instead of me raising my hand, I was just not saying anything, and that was like a big, huge abuse of him. Well, you say you enjoy my streams. I sure as hell didn't enjoy this one. Yeah, Ruben, I'll address what you said later. I'm really fatigued from this. Hey, you didn't have to tell me that I'm telepathic, remember? I can read what your mind and know what was going on. I use all my abilities to know what's happening to you. So when you do something I don't like, I can know what the reasons behind it were. Yeah, I'm just amazed. Oh, you should be the last person saying, "Well, damn." The last one at the bottom of the barrel. You are in no position to sound like you're tired or you've been like put through the stuff of job or something, because that's quite the opposite of what actually occurred here. That's like me going to some man and saying, "Hey, let's have a fist fight," and then when he comes with some boxing gloves, I'm like, "Well, damn!" It's like, no, you came here wanting to do that. You push harder than anybody else for that to happen. Jesus Christ. With his digestive system. Only thing wrong with his digestive system is going and writing a bunch of comments where he might regret it later on. I saw that's what YouTube is. You just get attacked. You just leave. You don't bother anybody, and you still get attacked anyway. Just sit there in your own little dojo, and you have individuals coming under you for everything. Jesus Christ. That's because I care about you. Yeah, this isn't Naruto. I don't need somebody to swear their declaration to bring me back to the village. Closing. What God? Okay, I don't know what that's in reference to. A lot of entitlement issues around on this site. Yeah. Like I said, I know what it's like to watch other people, and I've never seen this done to anybody else. As someone that's been on other people's streams where they'll go on there and demand that someone read their comment. And not even just say, "Hey, read my comment." They're like writing a whole bunch of stuff, and then after the person doesn't read their thing, that person now suddenly is the new Bin Laden. I should have said my channel was for kids. That way the stream chat would be disabled. That wouldn't have anyone demanding that I read their stuff anymore. I might do that. Put made for kids, and then we just have no chat. Oops. Yeah, I'm about to get off of here. This is too ridiculous. I won't stream tomorrow, most likely. If I do, it's because I ran out of ideas for other videos, and then I'll possibly stream on. Like these things are getting way too toxic for no reason.